Hello and welcome to the daily crypto market review. Today we'll be discussing about the crypto market updates as well as the important discussion ongoing for Solana. So hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get started. So right now we are seeing Bitcoin has found its strong support. If we are to see the 4 hourly chart right now, if we see, here is where Bitcoin is finding its reasonably strong support, or we can say on the 4 hour chart at least Bitcoin has bounced from this region right now. If we are to extend the path lines which I have drawn recently, then we can see Bitcoin has bounced off from the level of 22,600 to the level of 22,800. If we see the 200 weekly moving average, as we have discussed this even in the yesterday's video, the 200 weekly moving average still stays a strong support for the BTC price action. If we see on the today's Indian stocks as well as the Chinese stocks or Asian Pacific stocks also closed in decent positive gains. However, there is still uncertainty going on in between the US and the China, and the tensions are escalating as the United States Parliament person Nancy Pelosi has visited uh, Taiwan in spite of the Chinese not liking the idea of her visiting, although the global economic tensions are building up around that topic. Right now, we are seeing Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency investors are also facing uncertainty. That is where we are seeing Bitcoin revolving between the trading ranges of $23,000 to $22,700 range, and it has been hovering in between these ranges since 3 days, since it has entered this range from 31st of July, or you can say from the start of this trading week right now. So Bitcoin is hovering and is forming a lot of wicks in this area. These wicks are most of the time intended to liquidate the short sellers or the long sellers, in a nutshell the leverage traders. So right now personally I'm not taking any leverage trades, although if you are following my YouTube channel we or even Twitter, we started to accumulate certain altcoins over here. As I also mentioned on the Twitter that I'll be buying some amount of altcoins, as I expected BTC to bounce from there, but briefly we went down and then pushed back up. So right now I have put all the stop losses for my altcoins except one of the altcoin which I'll be discussing shortly, Solana. So moving on towards BTC price prediction, right now we are seeing Bitcoin is facing difficulty for moving above the resistance level of, like we say, $23,500 to $23,800 resistance. If BTC breaks above this level and close the 4 hour candle inside this box or even above it, we would see Bitcoin's next leg or even the next candle formed in the 4 hourly chart would be touching $24,000 at least. And what does this means for the altcoins? Let's move on towards the Bitcoin dominance, as it is an indicator that what would be happening with the altcoins. Right now if we are seeing the Bitcoin dominance on the daily chart, we see the Bitcoin dominance is also in between this sideways range since 29th of July, between the 42% to 41.89%, and is hovering right now. If we are to establish a conclusion on that, I would say it is consolidating or even getting ready for a breakdown. If we see that from 18th of July Bitcoin dominance was in a big sideways swing and then broke down, and then we saw furthermore Bitcoin dominance hover in between the ranges of 43% to 42%, and then it break down. Right now we are seeing the same scenario but on a very small percentage scale, that is 42% to 41.8%. and if we expect BTC to go up, then we must have to say that Bitcoin dominance should at least cross 45%. That would be bullish for overall crypto market, although we'll be seeing the bleeding of altcoins for the short term, but Bitcoin price going up will restore the investor sentiments, and we can see money flowing back into the crypto market, whether it be altcoin market or BTC market. So overall I want BTC dominance to go up for the recovery of the crypto market, which is right now not visually appearing here. So if we are talking about the investor sentiments right now, if I see the Nasdaq chart, Nasdaq is making higher highs even on the early chart. Let's see the 4 hour chart what Nasdaq is doing. We are seeing a strong pullback towards the upside for the Nasdaq, and the next resistance which I mentioned for the Nasdaq is 329 points. Right now Nasdaq has gained so far 2.41% just today, but right now we are seeing Bitcoin is still appearing to be very weak right now and is hovering sideways. If we see the Nasdaq, that we can safely conclude that Nasdaq is moving towards the upside after breaking the resistance of 313, which was a strong resistance, and also acted as a support after the resistance was flipped and the 4-hour candle was closed above it. Right now, unfortunately, Bitcoin is not really following the Nasdaq and is appearing to be very weak. I expected Bitcoin to follow Nasdaq, since the 318 point level for the Nasdaq was appearing to be a point. If broken, then Bitcoin would continue its way towards the $25,000 level. But right now, investors are really not interested in BTC, or we can say the investors are all looking towards the global market, which can be affected by the Chinese situation right now. If we see towards the American market, including the Nasdaq is clearly going up, but what is right now decoupling BTC is most probably the reason of the ongoing global macroeconomic situation, and the investors fear that the volatility in crypto market is very high compared to the stock market, as well as the Bitcoin trading is not limited to United States, and the FUD, or you can say the fear in the market, is dominant in most part of the world apart from United States. So the investors of United States are most probably pumping the Nasdaq, while the investors for Bitcoin overall are in fear and all eyes towards the Chinese and United States situation. That is the main reason I am thinking for the decoupling of BTC and the Nasdaq for a very short amount of time. Although if Nasdaq continue to go upside, then we can clearly see that Bitcoin will break out of this strong resistance zone, and we can see the continuation of the upside. Although this wick, this red sell off was clearly an insider or manipulation that we saw on 30th of July, which also indicated a strong fall in the Bitcoin dominance. As we speak right now, Bitcoin dominance is also falling currently. Moving on towards the S&P 500, S&P 500 is also pumping due to Nasdaq companies pumping, as well as the tech stock and the other commodities stocks pumping. Overall, the stock market looks very good at the opening as well as the midday trading. Moving on towards the dollar currency index, the dollar currency index tried to break out briefly above our strong resistance trend line, which was previously a strong support, and the dollar currency index bounced from this support, but right now it broke down from that support and is retesting it. If the retesting was successful on the daily time frame, then we can see continuation of the breakdown of the dollar currency index, and we can see further increment in the crypto market as well as the Nasdaq market right now. But right now BTC, which I clearly am repeating again and again, is finding very difficult to break this strong resistance zone of $23,600 level. Moving on towards the Solana has a situation today that engineers from and the Solana status mentions that engineers from several ecosystems are in conjunction with the auditing as well as the wallet maintenance situation going on with the Solana. As we have reported that it has been reported that a lot of approximately 8,000 wallets of Solana has been compromised and their funds were stolen. Even if we see on the trending news that a lot of situation is continued to be discussed in the Solana ecosystem, that if we see that these are the some of the transactions that have taken place from the stolen accounts, and a lot of people are saying that our funds were stolen, although we were not involved in any of the debts. However, it is not only Solana token being stolen, it is also USDC and many other tokens stored in the wallets. However, there is a very specific information related to this hack, is that most of the funds were stored in phantom wallets, or you can see that these wallets are even not secure if you are using them. They are called hot wallets. The hot wallets are such as MetaMask, Phantom Wallet. They are online, and the cold wallets are the Trezor, or you can say other wallets that come in the hard form, in which you have the keys of your cryptocurrency stored offline. But right now the situation for Solana doesn't very appeal to me. And if you are a long-term holder of Solana, then personally I am accumulating Solana and dollar cost averaging. As a very old investor wise person said, that you buy the fear and sell the greed. Right now, people are fearful about Solana. What matters is the fundamentals of Solana. The Solana blockchain was not hacked. It is basically the wallet or the specific dApps people were using related to Solana. So, however, personally, I would say that this is accumulation, at least for me, for Solana. And if you see the Solana chart, right now I'll be seeing the Solana chart. So the Solana news came out just today. If we see the time in UAE, it was approximately uh, if I say that it would be 8 p.m. yesterday night. So the news came out, and we were actually seeing the news being broken on Twitter on today's morning, early morning. But right now, if we see the Solana price started to sharply drop and faced first red candle on the 4-hour chart with a negative 3.3%, then another loss of 3.12%. If we are to sum up the losses after this news was made public, that was a total 10% drop in in few hours, considering the news was available to the large holders in advance, although it was available to the Twitter users much later. Even at the time I was sleeping, and I got a notification from the emergency alerts, which I have certain connections in the crypto market, and they were all discussing about the ongoing situation. Although hack was not for the large funds which we have recently seen hundreds of millions of dollars were stolen from XZ Infinity Ronin hack. It was nothing such hack, but it was on a scale of $7 to $8 million were stolen, and this points out that most of the retail investors and the small investors were usually targeted for this attack. So in this world of dishonesty and stealing and hacking, just try to be, if you wish to try to be different, just be honest. That would be enough for you in this world and the life hereafter. Oh, okay, moving on towards Solana. The Solana is right now, if we see, the Solana went all the way down to $37.5 and then strongly bounced back again. If we see the early chart, the early chart suggests that Solana was having quite sufficient bounce orders to buy orders placed, and then bounced back above to 39.65. Then the sell-off continued as the news spread, and we saw furthermore sell-off. Right now, with Bitcoin going up for today in the 4-hour chart, BTC gained 1.8%, but Solana was nowhere near to that gain. It gained a very decent small amount of percentage compared to the other altcoins. If you talk about other altcoins, they have decent gains today. Let's move on to the live coin watch. So we can see many altcoins gains decent amount of gains in the last 24 hours. BNB is 4.5% and Solana is in negative. Polkadot gained 1.8% into 24 hours. Most of the time we are seeing stable coins in the top 10. So Polygon Matic gained a decent amount. However, we are still seeing the falling price of Solana right now because of this particular news. And right now Solana is consolidating between the Fibonacci retracement level of, if you see the exact numbers, Fibonacci retracement level of 0.382 to 0.5, that is $41 to $39.12. If you are a scalp trader, then it may be opportunity for you. You can just buy at $39 and sell at $40 and then continue. Even you can use grid bot trading. But right now since I believe in the project, and if you can see if you also believe in project of Solana, and if you want to find out the reasons why I still believe in the project and even think that Solana could reach a price target of $400 in the year 2023 to 2024, then you can see the video whose link must be appearing on the top of the window right now in this video. Anyways, moving on towards the Solana, if BTC behaves and breaks above $24,500 level and moves towards the $25,000 level, we can expect Solana to break out. If I'm supposed to draw a trend line for the Solana downtrend, we can expect Solana to break above this trend line that was confirming a downside for Solana. Then the next target for Solana would be clearly $43.46, and then moving upwards towards the next resistance would be $44, and then finally $46.39. And if BTC continues its way towards $28,000, if it is supposed to follow the stock market, since stock market is pumping rapidly, but right now BTC is still appearing to be weak. So if it continues to move upwards following the stock market, and at any point if BTC starts to pump, then we can see altcoins also following, on the condition that BTC dominance remains sideways. If the BTC dominance just bounces off from 41.89 support level, then we can see altcoins being sideways or even bleeding for now. Moving on towards a certain market situation or even the trading psychology which I had to discuss with you people. If you are a trader or even holding cryptocurrency, then you must be having a lot of stress, time consumption, the risk and the reward ratios. If you are a scalper, then you have to give a lot of time to the market. So right now if you see this, the trade intervals between the scalping is like within minutes. You may be using 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, or even 1-minute chart for scalping if you are doing leverage trading. However, the stress amount is very high in the scalp trading, even if you are doing spot trading or leverage trading. So the stress amount is very high in such kind of trading. Scalp trading is the very small time frame trading. The risk is very high and the reward is also decently high. If you calculate the risk to reward ratio, it would be 1:1 to 1:1.5 most of the time. But since in scalping most of the time people prefer to use the leverage, and when the trade goes wrong, then definitely you know what are the risks involved as compared to the rewards as well. And the day traders, for day traders the time is in hours, let's say 1 hour, 2 hour or daily time frame. The stress is at least less compared to the scalp trading, and the risk and reward are decently reasonable. However, if you are saying trader, which I am always focused on the daily time frame, 4-hourly time frame for just a macroeconomic macro view. However, I personally use the weekly time frame and daily time frame for the long term hold altcoins. So that is why overall I'm personally buying Solana, since in the smaller time frame, whether it be scalping or day trading, Solana may not be appropriate. However, for swing trading, I'm seeing a lot of opportunity in Solana, which I also told you. If you are unsure about it, you can see the video I have posted on the channel. The link might also be appearing on the top of this video. You can see why I am bullish on Solana for overall. And Solana is still in its beta version. This is not the Solana's final version or even Solana 1.0. So that is why we can expect Solana's blockchain or even the dApps going further beyond. Right now they are in beta version. Moving talking about swing trading, I personally prefer swing trading since I'm an engineer myself, so I have to do certain other things. I'm not full-time trader. I just look at the charts and fundamentals. As Warren Buffett says, if you have the particular fundamentals for particular stocks or business, then you hold them and just forget them. Compared to hedge fund managers who try to day trade every move and get wrecked. You can't time the market every time perfectly. You get wrecked most of the time. It is not important that you take a large number of trades to get to success. Even 10 trades even 10 good trades of out of 100 bad trades, you can get a lot of money if the trades were good. So the swing trade opens door for focusing on fundamentals, as if a project is fundamentally strong, it definitely will bounce today, tomorrow, next month, or even next year, but definitely the bounce will come. So overall, I am bullish on Solana as well. The swing trading and personally saying swing trading is favorite for me as it involves least amount of stress, risk is less, and the reward is decently reasonable. I would say in crypto the reward can be higher because we have seen over the years where even people got 100 times the investment amount if they invested in particular fundamentally strong projects in early time frames. Another news which I think you should know is that Michael Saylor is no longer CEO of MicroStrategy. So we can see certain news coming from that side as well, which is also holding up BTC, as I can see that MicroStrategy is also a large holder of Bitcoin. We can say it is the second largest or third or fourth. I think the second largest holder of Bitcoin after Satoshi Nakamoto himself. A private entity apart from the exchanges, since Coinbase Exchange holds a large number of bitcoins as well as Binance hold large number of bitcoins. However, non-exchange private entity MicroStrategy still remains the largest bitcoin holder. So obviously without Michael Saylor at the board as CEO of the company, we might see what the new CEO has in mind for BTC. So overall the market, since we already know that the market doesn't like uncertainties, that is I think can be one of the reasons that is holding BTC right now. Overall, this is my view for the market today. If you like the video, please hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.